it is really important to try new foods. And in this case, it's important to try new vegetables and fruits and other whole foods. You learn about the different nutrients that are in them. I love fall vegetables like squashes and pumpkins and things like that because there are so many nutrients in there that we don't get from other seasons, rather. They're so rich in like vitamin A, which is not very easy to get in a lot of other vegetables. So I really love that. They're high in iron, which we do get in some other vegetables. Vitamin C, which is obviously great and really helpful in helping make sure that we stay healthy. The fall and winter is synonymous with colds and other icky germs. So just really making sure we're expanding our palate, expanding the foods that we're eating is going to be really helpful in making sure that we're getting all of these important nutrients that we really do need. So many people ask me questions about taking supplements, and I think supplements are great if we need them. But I also am truly of the belief that food is medicine. If we're having a wide variety of foods and a wide variety of nutrients, we won't need to depend on these supplements. And we can have a full variety of nutrients coming from food. So I think that that's something that we really should focus on. And the fall vegetables especially have so many great nutrients. So really go out there, try to go to these farmers markets, try to get yourself to try new things. Maybe once a week, once a month even, we can start trying something new and seeing how that goes.
I am going to be making a soba noodle stir fry with broccolini, bok choy, a little bit of carrot, and some shiitake mushrooms. I haven't used shiitake mushrooms that much, but I know they're very nutritious. And then, like with a sauce, I'm chopping up this garlic, and then we can put the garlic in the pan. I got it on a low pan. You can use peanut oil or avocado oil or olive oil, whatever you decide. It's fine with me. So we're just going to use this up. So I'll turn this up a little bit now. I did make some tofu to go in it, but I like my tofu a little cooked before it goes into the pan. I thought, oh, I'll give it a quick air fry, but I forgot about. So it's very crispy, my tofu. So we got crispy tofu and I'll just add that at the end. So I'm going to add my shiitake mushrooms. I love the shape of it for some reason. I don't know what it is. They look like kind of like flimsy when they're cooked, and I just think they look really good in the stir fries. So we got the shiitakes going on. While that's cooking, let me explain what I did with the broccolini. I actually steamed my broccolini first, so it's a little tender, and I'm going to add that in towards the end. And like I said, the tofu, the bok choy will go just at the very end as well. I'm just going to grate a little bit of carrot in this. This didn't come with a recipe, but I felt like it looked very dark, the recipe. So I just want to just grate a few little carrots in there just to give it a little bit of color. And these carrots are so beautiful, all different colors.
Very pretty.
So there you go. That just brightens it up when it's complete. Because the soba noodles are a little dark, it makes the stir fry look a little dark. So we're going to carry on doing that. While that's sauteing, I'm going to turn that low. I'm going to make this sauce. I'm using soy sauce, sriracha, rice wine vinegar, and some honey. So I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of soy sauce, and then I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of vinegar. You can add 1 to 2 teaspoons. I'm just going to add 1 just because, I mean, I like it spicy, but I want the kids to eat this as well. So I'm just going to add like a little tiny bit. I would double the recipe for the sauce. If it's just for yourself, that's fine. But if you're making it for your family, you want to make sure everything is covered. All right, I'm going to put the broccolini in. You see how green it is? I try to keep it as green as possible. Do that.
It's very green. It's a good color.
I try and ice water it after so it keeps its color. I think it's important to keep it looking nice. So now I'm going to put my bok choy. Bok choy only takes like a couple of minutes. I'm going to put the noodles in now. You put these for like 3 minutes in water. These are a little bit sticky right now, I guess, because you keep it thin out. I did run them under cold water, but it's fine, whatever. I guess I left them a little bit hot in the middle. And then we're going to just put some of our sauce on. So you see all that coming together. You can also add you can crush up cashew nuts at the end of this stir fry and have it as a topping as well as some sesame seeds. So that's basically it for the stir fry. I'll show you what it looks like at the end, like it's plated. Okay, so this is it's all plated and everything now. And the water of the week this week is apple and lemons.
for me, my recipes are usually a little less involved. A lot of times my inspiration for my recipes comes with what I have in the refrigerator. And I think that's like a really great idea for really everybody because it helps obviously minimize waste, help clear out the fridge. So always before the weekend, I like to clear out my fridge. I happen to have had like 4 boxes of cherry tomatoes. I'm not really sure why. A few of them were starting to go pretty bad. So I really wanted to do something with that. I also actually had a farmer's cheese in my fridge that I usually use for a quiche, which I actually was going to use. I have a great crustless quiche recipe, which we can do another time. But because I wanted to also use the tomatoes, I wanted to find something that would work better. And the tomatoes in a crustless quiche are a little too watery and would make it a little waterlogged. So I decided instead, I don't know how many of you are on TikTok or follow TikTok trendy recipes, but there is a trend that was pretty popular like 2 years ago of a feta and tomato situation that you would put in the oven and bake it, and then you would add pasta to it. So I am doing it today with farmer's cheese instead of feta, which I actually looked on Instagram to see if that was a thing, and apparently it is not. So it seems I'm inventing that. So what I do is you always want to put it in the middle because you want everything else to kind of cook evenly. So we have our farmer's cheese in the middle. We're going to use half a block of farmer's cheese, and then you're going to do the tomatoes on the outside. A lot of my tomatoes are starting to get a little bit mushy, so I think they're actually going to cook a little bit quicker. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some garlic cloves. So I have some garlic here. You want them to be whole. You don't need to mash them at all. And you're going to spread that around. And then I'm going to go with my spices. I like to add paprika just for color. I think it looks pretty also on top of the farmer's cheese. I make sometimes actually farmer's cheese balls with different spices around it. So I think that kind of gave me that idea. And then we're going to use a little bit of red chili flakes, pepper flakes. You can use as little or as much as you want, or you can leave this out, but it definitely gives it a nice kick. So we're going to put that in there, and then we're going to top this all off with some olive oil. You want to make sure it's not too much olive oil because you don't want it to get too oily, but you want it enough that everything's going to cook nicely. I happen to love using one with a top like this because I find like it evenly gets on everything.
I kind of make a mess with the other top sometimes too.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I happen to just love this brand in general, but even if it's not this brand, they call it a Spanish olive oil, and they actually have huge bottles of them that they sell at Costco, a Spanish olive oil.
Oh, nice.
And there's something about the taste. It's so good. It's actually pretty good also for cooking. And there's just a really nice, rich taste to it that's not too harsh. So now I'm going to go put this in my oven at 400 for about 20 minutes. My last one went in for about like 25 minutes. Gonna put that in. And then I cooked some whole grain pasta. So again, you want to try to stick with whole grain, something that is going to be whole grain, brown rice pasta, lentil pasta, something made out of a whole grain rather than white pasta. And then when it comes out, it smells delicious, by the way, in the oven. The tomatoes get pretty soft and the cheese melts really nicely, actually. It goes together really nicely. And then I plated it together like this. I put some basil at the top. Just such an easy recipe.
Looks
and
beautiful, gorgeous.
An actual full meal. The garlic gets cooked nicely and everything just comes together so nicely. It tastes really good. I actually ate it before this. It was my breakfast. And
I love that.
It's delicious and I love it with the farmer's cheese. I actually like it better than I think the feta cheese. The feta cheese is definitely saltier and this is much milder. And actually farmer's cheese is a really good source of protein and also of phosphorus, which we don't find in other cheeses. It's lower in calories than most other cheeses. It's also lower in saturated fat than other cheeses. So it's a very good option. It's more mild as well. So it is a very good option as a cheese and it's something very versatile, but again, it is more mild. So you're not going to want to replace it with feta cheese, but you can use it for other ways, but it worked very nicely with this pasta. I was very impressed with that. It's really just about becoming creative. You can look online for ideas and kind of substitute things out. That's what helps get our brain flowing a bit and the ideas flowing, and it's good.